You're welcome to Queen's Fashion World today. I want to especially thank my subscribers. Thank you so very much for your support. God bless you. And if today is your first time of stopping by on this channel, please do well to hit the subscription button and also turn the bell icon so that whenever I upload a new video, you will get an update. On this channel, I teach how to cut, how to sew. I upload a sewing tutorial every week. So today, I'll be teaching how to cut gathered gown with a turtleneck for a baby girl. So let's start now. We have a measurement here that we'll use for today's. So you take measurement from normal measurements from the shoulder to half length. For children, their half length is always on their the novel line. So this person's half length is 13 and a half. The full length on the nail, below nail, is 33 inches. So shoulder, we have shoulder here 13 inches. We have a bust circumference 27 inches. We have waist circumference 26. I have length sleeve here 5 inches. I have round sleeve 10 inches. The upper part, that is the biceps. I have a round sleeve tight here 8 inches. Then turtleneck measurement is 12 inches here. So the measurement we'll be using to cut the turtleneck gown. So I have an Ankara fabric here with me. It's 1 yard and 22 inches. So what I will do, I will remove the gathers, the gather minus the half length from the down part. So what I normally do, you fold your fabric like this, fold it equal like this, but fold it and remove the down part for the gather. So I will just minus the 13 and a half inches. I will minus 13 and a half inches for the half length from shoulder to knee. So this is 33 inches. I will add 1.5 inch. I can fold it down. I can choose to fold it. I can choose to weave it. So let me add 1.5 inches. Or you can add 1 inch for sewing allowance for hemming the down part and the upper part. But I add a 1.5 here. So you bring to this side, you minus the 13 and a half, you add a 1.5, 33, that is 34 and a half. Okay, this side is 43 and a half. You connect it together like this. So you just cut this part out like so. You remove it like this. This is how the down part will be. So if you measure that 26, see what I have here, 26, and you come again 26. So this is the remaining. I added some inches. This is about 6¾ here. You can decide to double it into 2.5 again. That is, if it's 26, you double 26 plus 26, that is into 2. Then you add half again. 26 divided by 2, that is 13. So you add it to these two parts. Then you have a gather this thing, the length that will be enough for gather. So that is what I have here. So we have to cut the upper part now. Let me keep that gather length aside. So you come with this your fabric like this. Check the wrong side and the good side. This is the good side. I fold the good side inside. Whenever you're cutting, this is what you have to do. So now I will first of all mark the length now. That half length that will minus from the gather, before we cut the gather, we'll minus 13 and a half. So I will come with this 13 and a half now. Place your tape like this. 13 and a half, add 1 inch for sewing allowance. So I will be using 14 and a half. Let me mark the 13 and a half and 14 and a half. So if you finish marking, you connect your chalk together like this. I'm using free hand. I'm trying to mark the chalk very well so that you will see. This is 13 and a half, this is 14 and a half. So the next place to mark now is the shoulder. The shoulder is 13 inches, so I will mark 13 inches. 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. So I will go ahead and mark 6.5. You can add half inch to it or 1/4 of an inch. Let me add half inch. It's still okay. Then you come down. For shoulder slope, you can use 1 inch, you can use half inch. For a baby, it's okay. I will use 1 inch. Let me mark the 1 inch for shoulder slope. Then the next place I will mark again is the neck. So because it's turtleneck gown, you use the width 2 inches. 2 inches. This is 2 inches. From this 1 inch, I will connect my hand to the 2 inches, like so. From the shoulder slope. Then now, armhole. How to get the armhole? You have to divide the bust circumference. Divide the bust circumference by 6. I have a 4.5. I divide it by 6. Divided by 6, 4.5 plus 1.5 inch. We'll have a 6 inches. So I'll go ahead from that shoulder slope. I will mark the 6 inches like this. This girl is a little, not too small. That is why the armhole, the bust is the armhole is big, like this, 6 inches. There are some children you use 5 inches for the armhole. Just depend on the child. Like for smaller girls, you can use 5 inches. So I will connect chalk like this. From this point where I mark my 7 inches, I will mark this side 7 inches also and connect it like so, like this. Then I will mark 1 inch. I want to mark the armhole now. So from this 1 inch is where I will mark the round. That is the armhole round. You connect your hand to this 1 inch like this. So this is our armhole now. Then from this point, you find the midpoint of the armhole, 6 inches. You divide it by 2. You have a 3 inches. So this 3 inches is our midpoint. You can now go in by ½ inch. From this midpoint, you go in by half. So you connect from that half. Connect from that half now down to this part. You connect from this half again down to the shoulder line. This one will be the front armhole now. I hope you're seeing. Because I'm using Ankara, that is why it's like this. So the next place is the bust circumference. The bust circumference is 27 inches. So you divide 27 divided by 4. You can add 2 inches sewing allowance. You can add 1.5. Is okay. So let me add 2 inches sewing allowance. Now to the waist, the half length circumference, that is the waist, we have 26 inches. 26 inches divided by 4, I will have a 6.5. 6.5 inch. So I will add my 2 inches sewing allowance. I can add a 1 inch for that now. 1 inch for that. 1 inch for that. You connect it to the bust line like this. Because of the dart, see the shape we are having. You know, it's just 1 inch different from the bust measurement. The bust is 27, here is 26. So now that I added that, so this is what we are having. What we have here. This is what we have here. I will go ahead and mark the neck first. The neck width, I will use 2 inches also. The depth is 2 inches. The width, I will use 2 inches. And the back neck, I will use 1 inch. So I'll first of all connect my hand to the 1 inch like this. This is the back. Then from there, I'll connect my hand again to the front neck. This is how I normally do it. So now I'll go ahead and cut. I can cut from the shoulder slope like this. Cut from the shoulder slope to the cut from the back armhole. You know how we do it now. So I will cut from the back armhole like this, then cut from the bust to the waist circumference like so. Then I will cut out the length like this. So this is the front of the dress now. I will just place the front to cut out the back like this. Now you add your zipper allowance. The zipper allowance, it can be 1 inch, it can be 1.5, it's okay. So let me use 1.5 for the zip allowance now. You measure the 1.5, make sure it's straight. So this is my zip allowance now. Place it equal from the shoulder. You just cut it out like so. Then you cut it down like this. So I will go ahead and split this side. This is the zipper allowance. I'll split it. Now I can now cut the neck. I'll just connect it to the back. Since I've already marked, I like cutting it together like so, both the front and the back. That is why I marked high neck in front. So I will go ahead, after cutting the both like that, I'll now go ahead and cut the front alone. I'm cutting the front alone. I hope you're seeing. So this is the, so there is something I normally do. I call it zip shape at the back. So for children like this, I start from 6 inches. That is from their shoulder length to 6 inches. So this is 6 inches. I will just come down and remove ½ inch like so. So I will connect my chalk now, slant it to remove shoulder, to remove zip. I just slant my hand like that to remove a zip shape. So you see, this is zip shape. It's off now. Then I will come to this down part again. I always remove something from this down part, like 1 inch, like this, because the chest is there, the chest is high, the shoulder, the back here is high, but this part there is nothing here. So sometimes when you leave the half length straight, you see that the half length will now drop lower than the front and the back. So that is why so you connect your hand from that 1 inch. You stop before the center, just stop before the dart place. So you cut it out like this. You can remove 3/4, it's okay. This way your dress will sit very well. Now to mark that now, for children dart, we always mark 3 inches. The width 3 inches, the length of the dart 3 inches or 4 inches. So for this girl, I will use a, let me mark the 3 inches. If the baby is big, you can use 3.5. She said, this one is slim, so I'm using 3 inches. Then I will come up and mark a, I'll use 4 inches. Let me use 4 inches. She's a tall person, so I'm using 4 inches for that, the length of the dart. And the width, I use 3 inches. For bigger girls, you can use 3.5 for the width. So you connect your chalk, that 3 inches like this, and you remove ½ inch here. You remove ½ inch here. So from that ½ inch, you connect your chalk like so to this point. From this ½ inch, you connect your chalk like this. So you connect your dart like that from the ½ inch to where the dart will stop, from the ½ inch to this other part. Let me notch the center of the dart place. Let me notch it now. So the back area, you can extend it, make your dart to be 5 inches. The back dart always come up more than the front dart. Connect the straight line like so. Then you mark your half inch like this, like that. Then you can connect your hand like this. Connect it like this. So this is your dart. And this front part, we have not removed the armhole shape for the front. So I'm going to remove it now. So let me cut it out. I'm cutting the front alone now. We cut it out like this. So this is our front, this is the back, this is the back, this is the front. So we'll go to machine and sew it. Let me notch the zip allowance first, like this. Let me notch the zip allowance at the back. So I will open it like this now. Bring the back to it. This is the good side, this is the good side. They are kissing each other. So I will join the shoulder now. Join the shoulder with 1/2 inch. Then I bring this other part again to join the same shoulder. So the next place to sew now, I will start sewing the dart now. I just hold, the dart is already marked. Just go from the down. And you sew it like this. This is how you sew your dart. You see the shape of that. Then I will sew this other side. I'll do the same thing to this side. Joining the back dart, now the front dart, from where we marked job, I'll just go ahead and sew like this. You slant your hand like a V. Don't sew it straight. You slant your hand like a V. You also come this side and do the same thing to this side. So this is what we have now. I have finished joining the darts, the both front and the back darts. So this is the down part now. How to sew gather. So how to sew gather, you set your machine, the hand stitch. So how to sew your gather, you set your hand stitch. The last place, you just set it. That is how to sew gather. This place now is for gather. So let's start now. So make sure you leave some thread on the beginning part like this. So you sew your gather now. You have to drag it. Don't stitch it. When starting, don't stitch the stitches. Just start and be going like this. Continue to sew straight like that. Part, you sew like this and cut out thread to remain. Allow your thread to remain like this. Is the second line. You sew it second, sew second line. That is, run the gather 2 times like this. Run it close to this other first line like so. You keep going straight like this. So make sure you cut your thread remain again. You see thread is remaining this side. Now, so before you drag your gathers, you notch the center like this. Notch it like this so that you know the center. And there is something, this gather, you can use needle to pick the thread. To pick the thread out like this. The back thread, these 2 now at the back, is the right. Sometimes the thread might hook or cut easily. And the reason why we sew the 2 times like this, so that the thread will be firm. If you use only 1 thread to run your gather, at times when you drag, the 1 thread will cut. so you have nothing to fall back to. But if you run your gather line on a two thread like this, if you're dragging the gather and eventually one thread cut, you can manage the other thread and still drag your gather. So I'm using the back thread. This is the back thread now to drag the gather. You drag it like this to move, because we use gather stitch to sew it. When you drag, you pull it. You drag it, you pull it like this. It will be going. Just continue to drag like that. You pull it like so. This is the center where we marked, where we notch. So from the center now, you can now arrange your gather like so. This is when you calculate your measurement. You know, the measurement is the waist 26 inches. So 26, now this thing is now like straight, so you divide the 26 by 2, you have a 13 inches, right? 13 inches. So from this point now, you try to check your 13 inches. You see that it's not up to 13. You can arrange your gather again to get the 13 inches. Just arrange it. You measure again from that center to get 13. See, we'll have 13 inches, and this one will be the zip allowance. From the center point, I have 14 1/4 here. So 13 is the measurement, then 1 1/4 here. I can use it for the zip allowance. So you come to this side again, you do the same thing. The same thing that I applied this side, I'm going to apply this side now. So you keep dragging, you drag and pull it, move it to that center where we notch again. Just arrange your gather. You bring the two together like this. You arrange your gather well and check if you size this one. This is the center where I'm holding now, is the center. You can now place it like this and measure, because the other one measurement, the first line is complete. The first side is complete, so it's remaining this side. Now I'm trying to line it equal with this side. So I'll finish iron this thing now. It's well ironed. The dart and the shoulder, I'll finish ironing it. There's something I want to show you. You know, when I was cutting this half length, the reason why I didn't introduce the measurement of the back half length was because this baby, the front half length and the back half length, we are equal. Some persons are like that, both front and back are equal. Why? Some you're going to reduce, some you're going to add to the back. So that is why I said whenever you're taking measurements, you take measurements the back half length. So for this baby, our hone is equal. So there is something I didn't talk about. You know, when we marked the dart, the front was 3 inches and I marked the back to also 3 inches. But it's not supposed to be so, because of the zip shape, the back shape, that we removed ½ inch from this down part. We cut off ½ inch. So I'm supposed to add that ½ inch. Since the front dart was 3 inches, this back dart I was supposed to mark 3 1/2. That is, if you add the 1 1/2 inches for zip allowance, you now add before you now mark the dart. When you add measure the 1 1/2 inch for zip allowance before you now mark the dart. So the back dart and the front dart, they are not supposed to be 3 inches. So I said, let me bring this to you to show you, in case when you're making your own, please. I just corrected my own now. So I lose the first dart that I made and I corrected it here. So when I sew the zip allowance, it will still fall to normal, see what we have. But the other time it would have been something like this, which is very, very tiny. So I said, let me show it to you. So the next place to go now is to measure the bust measurements and the waist circumference. The bust circumference and the waist circumference. If this top now, this gown now, if this gown will have a belt by the side, you know, children wear, this is the time to add the belt. But this one, there will be no belt. The mother of this baby said there will be no belt. She don't want belt. She just wants a fitted gathered gown. So there will be no belt on this one, but if you're to add belt, this is meant to add the belt. You can cut the belt and attach to this down part now. So I will just quickly mark the bust measurement. The bust measurement was 27. So 27 divided by 2, I will have a 13.5 inch. 13.5 inch. From that point where you mark the 13.5 inch, you measure the remaining allowance. What I have here is 3 3/4. So 3 3/4, I can fold my tape like so and mark this 3 3/4, and I bring it to this point like this back line, and quickly mark, so that when I'm sewing I won't come back to this measurement again. I will just run it through. Then I will come to the down part now. It's 26. So 26 divided by 2, I have 13 inches here. I will go ahead and measure the remaining allowance. I have 4 inches. So 4 inches divided by 2, I will have 2 inches. I will come to this part now, this back, and mark my 2 inches again. So I'm to connect my chalk from this bust point to this point, to the waist circumference. Connect from this bust now to the waist circumference. The chalk is not showing, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. So I will go to the machine now and run this close. See, the back is still open for zip, and for other this thing, the gather is still open. So now that I've finished joining the side, I'll go ahead and check my measurement. This is when to check the measurement if it's perfect. So having done that now, I can now bring my gather like so. You know, the dress is now open, so you mark the center of it. I'll go ahead and mark the center like so, and also mark the gather, the center. We've already marked the gather, the center, but I will still mark it again with chalk now. So you mark it like so, and you bring the center of this one to this one. You open it like this, place the center like so. Then you sew this side first. You open this allowance. You can trim any edge that is not equal. Just trim it. Open the allowance like that, and you fix your gather. And whenever you finish running your gather, make sure you bring back your hand stitch, the machine, to the normal sewing. You know, we brought it down because of gather. So whenever you finish the gather, you bring it back again to the setting, which is number 8. Bring it back to number 8 or number 7 to give you a perfect sewing. So always check it like this. If they are equal, you can push the gather, then you can open it more to size your measurement. So I bring this side back again like this. Now I will sew on top this one like so. Make sure you arrange it well. I hope you're seeing. When you get to the allowance, make sure you open it so that you can iron it properly. Open it like this. So I have finished joining the gather now. This is the back, this is the front. So I'll go to the table and iron it now. So you open the allowance like this and iron it. You iron it flat like this. You also iron this side too. See what we have here. The next place to iron is the gather. Make sure you iron it. Iron your gather like this. So it's now smooth. We'll first of all now fix we'll measure and cut the turtleneck now. We'll cut the turtleneck before we'll fix zip. So now how to cut turtleneck. I will show you two different turtleneck, how you can cut it. So before you cut your turtleneck, first of all measure the neck like this. This is the zipper allowance where we'll notch. So I place my tape on that point now. I measure it all through like so. So what we are looking for is the turtleneck line is 12 inches. So what I have here to the zipper, this thing is 12 1/4. I can pinch it small to remove from the shoulder, the joining of the shoulder. You can pinch it a little to remove the quarter. So I'm going to cut the turtleneck now. When I go to machine, I will pinch a little from the neck to make it fall at 12. So how to cut your turtleneck now? This is a collar gum. This is what we call collar gum. There is gum on it. The inside, I fold it inside like this. So 7 1/2 here, that is 15. So the length is 15, then the width is 4 1/2. Now, my turtleneck is the baby turtleneck is 12 inches. So 12 inches divided by 2, I will have 6 inches. Since I fold this, it's already folded into 2. So I will go ahead and mark my 12 inches. That is 6. If you divide 12 by 2 is 6. So my sewing zip allowance, I will add the zip allowance to it. Zip allowance is 1 1/2 inch. So if I add my 1 1/2 inch, this is what I will get here. Let me use marker for you to see properly. Okay. So if I add zip allowance to it, I will have 7 1/2. So this is my 7 1/2. So let me mark my 7 1/2 like this. I can connect it with my roller like so. Then on this point now, I'll just, what we are trying to get is the round neck. See the shape of this dress now. The round is like this. You know the shape of round now. The round is like this. So we are trying to form this round now. So I will go ahead and mark 2 inches. From this measurement, I will mark 2 inches. Then I will divide the midpoint of this 7 1/2. It will give me 3 3/4. 3 3/4. So this is my 3 3/4. That is the midpoint. So from this angle, I mark 2 inches. The middle of this midpoint again, I can divide it like so. I can divide the midpoint again and just mark here. So from this point, I will mark 1 1/2 inch. From this center of the midpoint, I can mark 1 inch. But all I'm trying to do is to carve around the shape. So I will just, even without marking, I can just connect my hand like this. I'm trying to carve the round like so. When you carve it, you can check the shape yourself. If you see that what you carve is not smooth, you check the round that is not okay, you can blend it well. You can blend it well. Just use your eye and measure. As a tailor, you need to learn how to use your eye to measure something, to know that this thing will be fine, it's equal, it's not equal. So I haven't done that. I will go ahead and mark now 1 inch. This collar is going to be 1 inch. So I will mark 1 inch like so. I will mark another 1 inch. Just connect it with 1 inch. And connect your chalk like so. I'm connecting my marker now. And when you get to this point, don't allow it to be sharp. Make sure you carve it well, like round. You're trying to form round and this thing. So having done that, you still place your tape like so and measure this upper part measure the distance. It's 7.5 inch we are trying to get. So mark it like this and connect it to the down part to make it straight like so. So see what we have here. You can now cut. I can now cut my turtleneck like this. Cut this part. So see what we have here. The collar is ready. This is one. Let me show you how you can cut the round collar. This one is round collar. Let me show you. This is a collar gum too. I just ironed it. You see the way it is. I'm folding it now into 4. You can measure the width is like 4 inches. If I open it like this, like 7.5, okay, 7.5 by 8.5. You can just fold something. I fold it into 4 like so. Now, for me to get that 12 inches. So when you divide your 12, divide it by 4, you have 3 inches. Now for me to get that 3 inches here, I can place my tape like this. Just fold your tape like you're cutting round. Now you know the way we cut round to get the 3 inches. So check this part now from this place to the upper part. I have a 1 3/4 of an inch. So I can now place my tape now to form that round. Let me use 1.5 first. I'll use chalk on this one first before I will use marker. I hope you're seeing 1.5 inches. Place 1.5. So you connect it like this. You're forming round now. This is the one. So I can cut it right now. So let me use marker to mark it for you to see properly. It's 1.5. I use 1.5 to mark the round like this. So I want to cut it and check the measurements again. So when I open it like this, this is what I will get. If you open it like this, the measurement is now 6 inches, not 3 inches again. So I will check my 6 inches like this. So what I have here is 6 inches. So that 1.5, I can trim it again like 1/4 from it. That is what we are to use for this, is 1 3/4. So you can trim 1/4 from it again like so. And you measure like this. Okay, so we have a 13 inches here. That is 6.5. It's okay for zip allowance. So I will now go ahead now and mark my collar, the width of the collar. If I want to use 1 inch, I will mark 1 inch like this, round. Mark 1 inch like so. If you want to use 1.5, you go ahead and mark 1.5. But for a baby like this, 1 inch is okay. I don't want the collar to be too big. So you go ahead and mark 1 inch round like this. I want a small collar, so I'll go ahead and cut it out. So this is what we'll have here as a round collar. You can now split it. You can open it now. You see what we'll have here. So this is the round collar. How you can cut your round collar. Let me measure the round now. This side is 12. So this is the collar now. See how beautiful it is. You can measure it round. There is something I want to show you. This particular collar is for this kind of neck. You know, the high neck I cut with 1 inch. Why the front I cut with 2 inches. That is the depth. I cut with 2 inches for this collar now. But for this one, there is something. This one now, I cut another neck for this one to show you. This one, you have to cut both front and back 2 inches depth. When you cut the front 2 inches depth, you cut the back 2 inches depth. This one neck is always wider than this one. That is the way this round collar works. It's always wider than this one. This one you can fix it with high neck of 1 inch, but this one for a baby like this that I use depth 2 inches, I use the same 2 inches at the upper part. So if we have 12 inches here minus sewing allowance, this one will be more. This one now will have a up to 14 or more. So you see 14 inches here, that's 14 and a half inch is okay for this collar. So I will go ahead now and gum this one. I'm just showing you how you can get your round collar, but what I want to fix on this one is this. The same method I will use to gum this one now is the same method you can also use to gum this one and fix. So let me go ahead and gum this one to show you. So when you want to gum your collar, you can make choice of the fabric, the pattern that you want. The pattern that you want the collar to be placed on. So you can go ahead and make choice. So I will use this pattern. I don't want the brown to show. There's a lot of brown on this fabric. So I will use this one now to gum my collar like this. So I will just place it like so and gum it. I think the fabric is too much. Let me shift. Okay, because I don't want the brown. Let me shift it a little. Use the gum to kiss the fabric, the back side, the wrong side. Let the gum kiss it and you can iron it like this. Make sure you gum it well. Iron the fabric too, so you can trim it out. So I will go ahead and cut it now. So each of these parts, the upper part and the down part, you make sure you remain like ½ inch. See what I'm doing? So I will also remain ½ inch this part, this down part, like this. I'll still remain ½ inch all through. Like so, make sure you remain allowance at this part now. So let me mark chalk. This is the front. This is the wrong part. This is the wrong part that I marked chalk. Now you come to this down part. Now you can notch it to the center of it, like so. You can also notch this one the center too, like so. Then you come to this part now. You fold this one to lap on the collar gum like this. If you fold it like this, that means when to fix the collar, you're going to run thread on top. I'm showing you two methods. You're going to run thread, whereby you sew from the back like this. You measure the center of this one, sew from the back, and turn it to the front like this and run thread on top. So you need to iron it like this to be neat. But for this one, I'm not going to run thread at the back. There's no lining on this dress, and so I'm going to flat it now. I don't need to fold it like that. I'm just to turn the upper part and fix my collar. So I just wanted to show you how you can do your own if you want to run thread on top. So I will go to the machine now and sew the upper part like this, turn and iron it. Sew the collar now. Don't allow your thread to climb on this collar gum. If not, you will have a problem there. Just sew on this allowance, very tiny, remain a small space, like don't climb on the collar gum. See what I'm doing now? So you sew it very tiny, close to the gum. Then you go ahead and notch it. Don't allow your scissors to cut your thread, please. Slant it. Don't cut it straight when you're notching. For for you to have a smooth edge. So I will go to machine now. I'll go to table now. I'll go to table now and iron it. So you iron it like this. Push it out. This is the gum part. Oh. Push it out like this, just for you to make it smooth. You can now hold it like this. You see how beautiful it is. You iron it now again on top like this. Make sure you hold it equal. Iron both front and back for it to balance well, so you can fix it. So you hold the two like this, the two edge like this. Place it equal and notch the center of it. Also do the same thing to the gown. Hold it like this and notch the center of the front neck like so. So you can now fix your collar. Make sure the gum, the collar gum, that is the front. Don't bring it inside. The collar gum is the front, that will be outside showing. So you place the front, which is the collar gum, to the front fabric like this, and you sew it round. So just sew it round like this. You come to this part now, you hold it, turn it like this. Now you have to sew it on top of the fabric. The same way you sew the other side. I can trim this remaining allowance, so you see what we have here as a turtleneck for baby girl. Very beautiful. So the next place now is to fix the zip. How to fix zip for children clothes. Make sure you hold this part equal. The collar line, make sure you hold it equal. The next place for you to watch is this one, the joining. Make sure they are equal. If it's not equal, that means you join one allowance bigger than one, like this one now. I can pinch it a little like this side. That means the allowance one side is bigger than one, so you can hold it a little, but when we were cutting it was equal. So just pinch it a little like that, and you check your allowance again, it's now equal. So you can just go below the joining, like 3 inches. Just go below the joining like 3 inches. If you want to use 4 inches, it's still okay. I can use 3 inches, I can use 3 and a half, I can use 4 inches. So you make sure you measure your 1 and a half, which is the zip allowance. Place it at that point, then you catch it like this and sew the zipper allowance. Make sure you sew it close. So you can now fix your zip like this. So I want to fix the zip now. How to fix zip? I'm using this open zip to fix. We have children's zip in the market, but color is a problem. So this is what I have. I will use this one. You fold the zip allowance, check the 1 and a half inch again. Fold it like so, the 1 and a half inch. Now you have to fix this zip all through to the collar so that the person can zip it and wear it. there is a different method of fixing zip. Let me use the hook to fix the zip. So you place your zip like so. Let me show you this method. Maybe in another video I will show you another method of fixing zip again. Because of the collar, so this is what I'm going to do, like this. So make sure you check your allowance from up to down. Check it to be equal, the 1.5 inch that we added for zipper. Place your zip like so. Make sure this side lap. This method I'm using now, you have to lap it. This side will be bold than the other side, the second part. So you lap it like this. Make sure the zip lap on top of the fabric lap on top of the zip rather. So you open the allowance at the back, open it and lap it like this. You can now turn this way. Also check the sewing allowance by this side, the 1.5 inch sewing allowance. You can take it to table and iron that 1.5 inch allowance all through. So see what I'm doing. I hope you're seeing. You climb on top of the zip like this and step down by this side like this. So this part now, check your joining. This joining, let it be equal. This joining left and right, please make sure you check it too. When you're passing on the road, you see some people zip, the joining is not equal. Please don't allow your own to be like that too. I hope you're seeing. This part you have to sew it very tiny like this. It's because it's turtleneck now, that is why it's behaving like this. If you iron your own, you just follow the line and be sewing. When you get to this point, check the turtleneck if it's equal. You can stretch it a little if it's not equal for your neck, for the zip to be equal. And make sure you stretch it if it's not equal. You can drag it a little for your neck to be equal with this one. So you balance it like this. See what we have here. You can now go to the table and iron the zip properly. I finished the zip now. I want to iron the zipper allowance with the zip. Make sure you iron it like this for it to smooth. Also open the zip allowance like this and iron it. You can now cut the remaining zip. You know it's long zip, you can cut it off, cut the remaining one off. Then turn it to the front again. You iron it again in front like this. Iron the upper part like so. No, it's turtleneck, so the neck is very small. So iron it like this. The gown is now ready. You see how beautiful it is. You can iron your collar the neck, iron the turtleneck area. Now, so at this point you can now check the length. You know the length is 33. We have almost 30, we have 34 here. So if you want to fold it, this 34 is okay. You can use 1 inch and fold it. If you want to weave it, you just trim half from it and weave. So for me, I want to fold it, so I will remove ½ inch from it, which is this English mouth. I'll just trim it off like so. So I would like to weave it with yellow thread. The next place now is the sleeve. For us to cut the sleeve, you now bring your armhole like so. Place the shoulder like this, measure it, and bring it to the round sleeve area and mark your round sleeve. You mark it. You can also use your tape to check. Even if, like for instance, the round sleeve is 10 inches. If this armhole fall at 11 inches, it's okay. It's better, this is 11, it's better for it to be free at this part than to be tight, because if it's tight, the person cannot lift up hands like this. Are you seeing? If it's tight, the person cannot lift up hands like this. So it's better for it to be free a little. So it's okay. It's 12 inches, 10 inches rather. It's 10 inches, but what I have there is 11 inches. Is okay. So the down part is 8 inches. You mark your 8 inches and you connect your thread like so. You connect it like so. You can trim a little allowance. I've already folded the down part. Are you seeing? I hem it bold. If you want to hem it tiny, then you have to reduce your sewing allowance. So I will go ahead now and fix my sleeve. When you want to fix it, please, this is the front, this is the back. So you make sure you check the sleeve. This is the front, this is the back. This is the way it will be. You see that this sleeve now will not rhyme this one. You bring it to this side. So this is the back, this is the front. So you have to fix it like this. So this one, make sure you open the allowance like this. Also open this part like this. Sometimes I can push it inside in a V shape. So I will start, I will move away from the joining, the side joining, and start like this. This is how you fix your sleeve. So you fix it round like this. That part that we notch to face the shoulder, you turn it like this. If it's not equal, you can lose the sleeve and hold small allowance here, but right now it's equal like this, so it's okay. We have a different method of fixing sleeve. This is one method I'm showing you. Maybe in another video you will see another method of fixing sleeve. But that method is mostly for kaftan. Any shapy dress like this, I like using this method. But if you use that one, you can use it, it's still okay. So this is the sleeve now. So I will do the same thing to this side, and the gown now is ready. So this is the gown now. It's ready now. I finished joining the second sleeve. See what we have here now. See how beautiful it is. See how beautiful it is. This is the back. So you can take it to weaving or you hem it down. Thank you so very much for watching. Thank you so very much. Please do like this video and share this video. Thank you. God bless you.